Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime. Kind of based on his appearance from the Cyberverse cartoon, because apparently there was a character who appeared in that show past Season 1, who I don't remember at all because I never watched past Season 1, because of the fact that Season 1 was actually not that bad. I very much enjoyed Season 1, but then I wanted to basically take two knives and put them in my ears whenever I heard Optimus Prime talk, and since he was going to be a major focus on the second season of the show, I didn't want to watch the show anymore, so I never did. But anyway, since he technically appeared, but to be honest, this is also supposed to be Cyberverse Chromia and doesn't even look like Cyberverse Chromia, so you count. There you go. Cyberverse Alchemist Prime. Sure, why not? And that is the reason why I wanted to have this guy, because initially I didn't even order him. That is why I never got him to begin with. And only got him now because I was like, oh hey, you appeared in Cyberverse, wow, so I need you actually. Dang it, I have to spend money on you. So here he is, and to be honest, yeah, he's another one of those primes. Now the thing is that I know everybody is raving about Age of the Primes. Oh my god, they're doing the 13. I don't necessarily care because I only really care about the characters that appeared in shows and or movies. And technically, if I'm gonna collect the 13 primes, by golly, are they going to be for Transformers 1, because that's where they actually appeared, so I actually have a reason to buy them all. So let's check out what the little guy's cooking here, and he's actually kind of a little guy as well, because of the fact that he's deluxe size. So let's take a look here. He has a very nice head sculpt here with a mustache and glasses as well, which his weapons are technically as well, but we'll get there later. He actually also kind of has a face here in the chest with the eyes and like the nose or the mouth or whatever. Very, very cool looking, to be honest. And the wheels still spin technically in this mode. I also got like the military green camo kind of look, which is kind of weird because you don't really need to be that, but whatever, I am not gonna complain. And then also here are the legs as well, nice shin pads as well. They got the big arms well, but he is very much a wide boy, because I think he might be just as tall like this as he is like this. Surprisingly enough, but he's a very wide boy, but barely in a kibble, if you want to count this as kibble. But he doesn't necessarily have a lot of stuff hanging off of him, which, you know what? Hey, that is always a good sight. You know what? And also the thing is that I learned something about him during his articulation segment because of the fact he has no wrist rotation, because I wanted to actually rotate his wrist so that the gaping holes were not going to be, because technically he is supposed to be a nerd, I guess, because he wears glasses and all that stuff. So I wanted him to be like in a surrendering pose, but he's got gaps here, so I wanted them to be going away, but that didn't work with the arms. So yeah, you get what you get sometimes, but overall he's a very nice looking guy. So then I move you out of the way to look at your weapons, which are weird. He comes with these kind of like gun weapons, as you can see, and they have 5mm post and can technically be held by him if he wants to, or you just don't and you plug it in here on the side of his arm. But what you can also do with these two, for some reason, is you also technically he can hold them, I guess, like this as well. You can hold them like melee weapons, but you can give him a bigger melee weapon if you want to, because you can actually combine these two, because if you can't necessarily see that, but in here there's a little tab here that goes into the slot there. So basically what you want to do, you want to basically line this up and just tab it in like so. And he's got a big pair of glasses, but also he can hit you with those glasses as like a melee weapon if you want to. Now obviously on the shelf I'm going to plug it into the arms because that is the better way to do it, but he can technically club you with it as well if he wants to. But to be honest, he is just a little nerd, so he's not gonna be able to do much damage at all. So let's move straight then into the articulation segment, shall we? So when his head can technically move right and left, you got a little bit of up and down as well, and not really any side to side, but you don't have a full rotation because everything in here blocks it, because in case you can tell, this is the front of the vehicle. Then after that, the arms can go in and out all the way around as well. You got a bicep rotation and also an elbow joint, and the hands can go in, but they cannot and will not rotate because there's no ball joint there. Then after that, he also has a waist rotation, and then his legs go forward and back, in and out, a rotation down here, a knee bend, And then also ankle tilt. Yay, he has ankle tilt. Very nice. And maybe a little bit up and down as well. But overall, he's got some average articulation. So then let's move then straight into size comparison. And before we get into the Cyberverse figures that I've chosen for today, technically the 3 favorite Cyberverse figures that I have, what I decided on was, well, since he is a Prime, let me bring in my other Prime that I have. Here he is next to Prima Prime. The only other one of the 13 Primes that I decided to buy. Don't worry about it. I have pre-ordered, I think, 2 more, if I remember correctly, because I have ordered both Vector Prime and also Micronus Prime. So those are ordered, but I don't have them yet. But here he is next to his white friend, like so. Move you out of the way so we can get into Cyberverse comparison then, shall we? So then here we have good old Alchemist Prime next to Tarn, Chromia, and also Windblade. Very, very nice looking alongside them. So let's get them out of here as well. Pull you in closer and let's get into that transformation then, shall we? So let's get this guy transformed then. Where shall we begin? Well, we'll start with an easy one. You want to open up his chest like so, fold in the head, close the chest back up. After that, make him do the surrendering pose for later on. Then after that, what you want to do is you want to do a nice little waist rotation. Then from the inside here, you want to open this up. Inside here, open this up. But don't just stop here. Open it all the way up. Just push it out to the side. Rotate in the foot, rotate in the foot. And then tap these two like so together. And don't close this back up because the arms are going to be in here as well. Because what we want to do next is you want to untap the arms from in here. Rotate this up. So basically rotate it so that this tab kind of disappears. This whole thing disappears. And then what you want to do is you want to use this joint here in order to rotate these 2 pieces here down to get them out of the way so we can get this thing all the way slotted inside. And then on the arms here, on the shoulders anyway, you can see, let me just make sure everything here is good. But anyway, on the shoulders here, you got the tabs and slots. So we want to tap that together. Also in here, there is a slot with a tab. So you want to tap that together as well. Get this whole thing just fully tapped together. Rotate this back up in here. Also, fold in the fist. Forgot that. And then there's going to be more tabbing together, but that will happen automatically if you have everything lined up. So basically what you want to do, you want to take this and line this up as well. Also, there are tabs here on the side that will tab in as well. Then after what everything has been put into location, you want to take these 2 pieces here, rotate them up, and just like with everything else, you want to tab it together so that this whole backside looks something like this. There you go. Very nice looking backside. And then to finish it off, what you want to do, you want to rotate out this windscreen, rotate it around, and then fold it backwards. And then these 2 tabs here are going to slide under here. So basically, you want to take this, push it back, and then get it all the way in there. And then after a lot is said and done, here we have good old Alchemist Prime in his vehicular form. So here we have Alchemist Prime in his truck mode, and to be honest, not necessarily that bad looking. I like the look of the truck mode outside of the fist in the back, you know. But what do you do about it, right? There's nothing really you can do about it. But overall, very nice looking truck mode. I mean, it is kind of, I guess you could say, a bit boring because you think about like a godlike vehicle mode for these primes, right? You know, they can't just turn it to this and this, you know, they gotta turn it into something spectacular. At least that's what people are saying online, because they're not necessarily the biggest fans of what this guy turns into. And I don't really mind it, to be honest, you know, I don't necessarily care. I mean, technically, if the clip from Thew is anything to go by, the actual character in Transformers Cyberverse turns into something your eyes shall never see. So this is the best that you can do, I guess. So, but overall, it's a very nice one in military green color. So let's take a look closer here. So we got the nice here front with some of the details right there. Nice little windshield as well with, weirdly enough, some lines in there. And afterwards here on the side, you got a big vent right there, but you got some nice details on the side here as well. Same here. Well, top's actually very empty in that sense. Also, there's a bit of a gap here, but there's a bit, it's not necessarily very detailed or anything. You got a couple of lines here, very nice still though. And then also you got this side here, and then in the back, obviously. I kind of wish there was a little thing to flip over here in order to hide away, because it feels like something needs to be coming over here, you know? It just feels like something needs to be over that, but it isn't there. But overall, still nice. And then you got the wheels, which I will complain about. No pins! Why are there no pins in the wheels? Why are the wheels not pinned? That is such a shame. The wheels should have been pinned. I mean, maybe these wheels are pinned. They sound a little bit different than these ones, but still. Anyway, should have been pinned. They're not really pinned because normally the pin comes through, but also recently I've had a horrible experience with a pin, that being the Nemesis Prime video. Go and check that one out, which has already gone up on the channel. In that video, I broke one of the minicons, so that was fun because that minicon, Jetstorm, wasn't made well. So even though this is a completely different video, I would like to issue a caution for that figure specifically because of the fact that, yeah, maybe don't go and put the thing on his chest because that is not a good idea. Okay, leave it where it is in jet mode. But overall, still very nice. Also, you got a nice front here as well with some nice silver in there as well. And then at the bottom, he looks like this. Still got that face going on with the mouth as well. I can't unsee it now. And hopefully neither can you as well. But overall, still a very nice looking vehicle mode. So then, for weapon storage, well, it's simple. You got two holes here at the top. So basically, you can just plug this in on one side, plug this in on the other side, and there you go, some weapon storage. Or, if you want to, I guess. I don't actually know if this works. It's the first time I'm trying it. No, it doesn't fit. Oh, boys, it doesn't fit. Oh, no, it doesn't fit. Ah, that's such a shame. It really just does not fit at all. But there you go, you can do that. I don't really know if there are any other storage points because I'm gonna be honest here, I didn't really look for that. I saw the two holes at the top and I was like, good enough. But anyway, still looks dumb anyway. So, now then, we are done with all of that. Obviously, this idiot can roll. So let's move into SAS comparison and shall we? So starting off here he is with the other Prime of the 13. The only other one that I own. Technically, I do have Vector Prime because I actually, in between this, I walked my dog and looked a little bit online and there is a rumor that the Vector Prime mold for the 13 Primes is just going to be a repaint, potentially, of the Cybertron Vector Prime. But we'll get there when we get there, even though I'm still not going to pick him up anyway, because I already got him for Cybertron. So why would I? But anyway, still, these two look very basic together, you know, just your basic trucks. That's what you get with these Primes, I guess. Your basic trucks. I mean, to be honest, anything is kind of a downgrade compared to Onyx and also Megatronus, which I don't really care about or want to own. But yeah, those two are just absolutely god tier in their alt modes. Maybe Onyx, you know, being able to do all of that. It's just insane that they were able to get away with that, at least from the pictures that I've seen. But these two still look very nice together. Part of me wishes there was an Autobot symbol, but understand why there was none. So let's get you out of here. And let's bring in Kit from Knight Rider. Look at him next to Kit, looking very nice as well. And then finally we got the Cyberverse figures. So here we got the Alchemist next to Windblade, Chromia, and Tarn as well. Looking very nice alongside them and the shelf that he's obviously going to stand on, but still looking very nice. So let's get these out of here. Pull you in closer and let's get into that reverse transformation. So let's get good old-fashioned Alchemist Prime back into his robotic mode. So what you want to start off with, or at least what I like to start off with, is a simple thing, and that is you want to basically come in here and in this gap you want to basically split this apart. And after that, what you want to do, you want to take the legs here and rotate them downwards a bit so that we can get to the arms. You want to split them, rotate them all the way around. There is, if you bend this down and don't pull it off. What is it with today with everything being pulled off? This is just annoying. But anyway, if you fold the arm down, as you can see now, there is a hole right there that the tab here is going to slide into. So you basically want to just take this, rotate this down, and then tab it in. So basically take this, rotate this down all the way, and then just tab it in right there. Rotate the arms down, also fold out the hand, rotate it down, and then rotate the legs back to where they were before. Afterwards, what you want to do, you want to take the feet, pull them out, and then afterwards split the legs here down at the feet, and then rotate this in completely and tab it in. It will click into place, don't worry about it. Then afterwards what you can do is actually go here first, fold this at the bottom here up and rotate it all the way around. Rotate this whole thing around and fold it onto the back. rotate this piece here around, and technically you could just say here he is if he was some kind of monster in a video game, because this still looks like a face to me. Anyway, what you can actually do to get the real face out is to do this, and then you can see a little bit of a hook thing here that you can just kind of use in order to get his real head out. Close up the chest, and here we have the Alchemist man of Primus himself back in his robotic mood. So, Alchemist Prime, my friend, what do I think about you? I think you're a fine figure. You're nothing spectacular. I will say that right now. You are not spectacular. It's just, you're a good figure, and sometimes that is fine enough, okay? Sometimes it's just fine to be a good figure with two faces. But overall, I enjoy your transformation. I very much like how the back basically captures both the legs and the hands, basically. The arms and the feet both get sucked into the back here. Big fan of the way that works. But overall, outside of that, you know, you're just a guy. That's all you are. You're basically just a guy of alchemy, which reminds me of Starset. Why do I keep being reminded of my favorite bands with these reviews? You have Runaway with, you know, the Nemesis set, and now you have Alchemy with this idiot. God. Anyway, Starset and Linkin Park are amazing. But this guy is actually pretty good. I liked him, you know. I don't think he's anything spectacular. There are better figures out there. You know, for example, Windblade. I thought she was better than this guy. But he is not bad. So do I recommend him? Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, if you see him, he's worth it. He's not bad. Let's just say that. He is not bad. He's just average. That is what he is. And as someone who has been always been called average, nothing wrong with that good old Alchemist Prime. But that has been my review of Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Alchemist Prime. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell, and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!